Freezing rain overnight looking to impact your Monday rush hour. We're talking about all the details and a big warm up on the way.
And a major name dropping out of the presidential race. A closer look at the current standings ahead of the New Hampshire primaries. Plus, a community remembering 5 students who were killed in a car crash last year. The event held by Sylvan Hills to honor their memory.
I'm begging you, we really want to know what happened to our April.
The murder of April Harris remains unsolved, but her family's not giving up in their search for justice. We hear from April's mother near the anniversary of her death. As we come on the air tonight, more schools across the state once again making the decision to cancel classes because of the weather. Thank you for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Sarah Horbacewicz. We're going to bring in Simone Thomas now. Simone, tonight's going to look different from last week, but still potentially dangerous, right?
That's right, Sarah. We already have a number of winter weather alerts and warnings that are out that just actually went into effect here at the top of the hour, 10 o'clock. An ice storm warning for portions of northwest Arkansas, as well as a winter weather advisory extending about as far east and south as places like Texarkana, Little Rock, just barely cutting off to the Jefferson County area. But we're expecting to see some ice accumulation in the area shaded and more of that royal purple, looking to see anywhere between 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch of ice accumulation, and then the lighter, more lavender purple is looking to see less than 1/4 of an inch of accumulation. But once that transitions to rain, we'll see rain continuing through the day on Monday and a very rainy week ahead of us now. It's not going to be any more winter weather after this, but we still got to get through that hump. So we'll talk about this winter weather as well as the warm up coming up this week later on in the show.
Today, a plane crashes at the Little Rock Airport, killing the pilot. Officials say that the pilot was the only person on board. It happened at around 1:30 this afternoon when the pilot reported an emergency before crashing near the departure end of the runway. Their identity and other details about the crash have not yet been released. The National Transportation Safety Board is set to be in Little Rock tomorrow to investigate the crash. Police in Conway announced the arrest of 3 people today in connection to a gunfire last Friday. Late Friday night, police responded to a shots fired call at the 1300 block of Salem Road. A house on the street had been shot at multiple times, but nobody was injured. The 3 people arrested are charged with committing a terroristic act and other felony charges. Looking ahead to tomorrow, it will be the beginning of the trial against Keyshawn Smith. He's charged with capital murder in the death of Pine Bluff police officer Kevin Collins in 2020. The trial was originally scheduled for last September, but was delayed after a 12-person jury couldn't be filled. Tonight, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis announced he has dropped out of the GOP primary and is endorsing former President Donald Trump. This just 2 days away from New Hampshire's first in the nation primary. Christian Benavidez reports.
I am today suspending my campaign.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis ending his GOP bid for the White House.
It's clear to me that a majority of Republican primary voters want to give Donald Trump another chance.
In a video posted on social media, he endorsed former President Donald Trump.
He has my endorsement because we can't go back to the old Republican guard of yesteryear that Nikki Haley represents.
He ran a great race. Having said that, it's now one fellow, one lady left.
Mr. Trump holds a commanding lead in New Hampshire. Still, he has been on the attack against Haley.
Nikki Haley is counting on Democrats.
On Fox News, the former president was asked why he mocks her first name, Nimrata, although she uses her middle name, Nikki.
With her, it's just something that came. It's a little bit of a takeoff on her name, her name, wherever she may come from.
Haley was born in the United States. She has been gaining ground in the polls. Not pulling any punches, she questioned Trump's mental acuity after a series of recent comments by Trump.
He claimed that Joe Biden was going to get us into World War II. I'm assuming he meant World War III. He said that he ran against President Obama. He never ran against President Obama.
She's also going after Trump over his age. He would be 78 at inauguration, same age President Biden was when he was inaugurated. Christian Benavidez, CBS News.
Speculation started to mount about the future of the DeSantis campaign after he suddenly canceled his Sunday show appearances. Today, Governor Sanders made an appearance on Face the Nation with Margaret Brennan. She voiced support for former President Donald Trump, saying that the economy, border security, and international relations were all better under the former president than they are under President Biden. She also addressed some of the rumors that she would be potentially the vice president for Donald Trump.
And you'd be open to vetting to be his vice president potentially?
Look, I absolutely love the job I have. I think it's one of the best jobs I could ever ask for, and I am honored to serve as governor, and I hope I get to do it for the next 7 years.
Another popular talking point for Governor Sanders on Face the Nation was abortion. And in Little Rock today, she was at the 46th annual March for Life. The rally at the steps of the Capitol was one of the biggest pro-life events of the year. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders spoke at the event, calling Arkansas the most pro-life state in the country. But she believes that's not good enough.
We shouldn't be satisfied with being the most pro-life community, the most pro-life state, until we see the United States of America as the most pro-life country the world has ever known.
The event comes as tomorrow is the 51st anniversary of the Supreme Court's Roe v. Wade decision that legalized abortion in the U.S. Family, friends, and loved ones gathered at the Sherwood Forest Sunday afternoon to run a 5K in honor of the 5 Sherwood teens that died in a car crash last January. THV11's Rebecca Brown attended Sunday's race and has more on how a community is joining together to keep their legacy alive.
This race means more than just about winning and losing. It's about remembering 5 lives that were loved by a community. And this marks the beginning of a memory that will hold dear to their hearts forever.
Basically, we want this run to be an image of our life here on earth. We're all on our individual race. Some of us are going to finish before others, just like our 5 finished their race earlier.
January 22nd marks the 1-year anniversary of the death of 5 Sherwood teenagers who died in a car crash on their way back to Arkansas from a college visit in Wyoming. So to honor their life, Joy Cahoon organized a Fab 5K run at the Sherwood Forest to show how much of an impact they left behind.
They played such a big role in each and everyone's lives, especially if they only knew them for a short amount of time. They made an impact in their life, for Christ especially. They all lived a faithful life for God.
Cahoon says each one of them loved the outdoors and running, so this was a perfect opportunity to bring a community together.
We figured this would be the best way to bring people together to help with our grief and just what we're going through during this hard time. So I feel like one of the best ways to deal with this is to be with friends and family and loved ones during this time.
One of the things that I'm so excited about is the fact that this will become an annual event every year, and it'll be something that our community can look forward to and a way in which we can continue on into the future honoring these kids.
Cahoon says it's not about how you start your race, it's how you finish. And that's something each one of them exemplified, as they didn't love anything more than their faith.
Because their testimonies here on earth, we know faithfully that they're in heaven with Jesus forever. So anytime that you're running your race here on earth, when you're going through battles and you're going up hills and stuff in your life, just know it's never too late to end your race.
In Sherwood, Rebecca Brown, THV 11 News.
The Faith Bible Fellowship Church in Sherwood will also be hosting a service of remembrance. That's tomorrow at 7 p.m. Now, when we talk about outbreaks, we usually think of the flu or other illnesses. But 25 years ago here in Arkansas, the state saw one of its biggest tornado outbreaks in history. Simone Thomas shows you that tragic day and what makes it different.
On this day in weather history, Arkansas saw the biggest tornado outbreak in recorded history. Now, 25 years ago on the date, so that's January 21st, 1999, 56 tornadoes developed across the state, mainly oriented along the I-30 line and Highway 67 to 167 across southwest to northeast of the state. But of those 56 tornadoes, White County and Independence County got hit especially hard. Between the two counties, 11 tornadoes impacted those two counties, with an F3 or strong tornado tearing down or destroying Beebe High School's gym. So that's to the south of this screen. Now, what makes this particularly interesting is that this happened in the winter. Here in Arkansas, tornadoes are most common in the spring, but that's not to say we can't see them year round.
All right, thanks, Simone. Now, still ahead tonight, 6 years later, a family's still looking for answers. After the break, we're going to take a closer look at the death of April Harris, a case that still remains unsolved.
And we've been talking a lot about winter weather, but some beautiful temperatures are on the way. You'll have to stick around. In 5 minutes, we're talking about it.